since I was a little kid and read a book about an Australian guy that sailed to Antarctica. I looked at all the little pictures and went, hey, that looks really cool. Been pretty inspired, sort of read everything I could for many years, and I bought my boat Snow Petrel with that in mind, and sort of did a big refit, put heaps of work in to make it stronger and tough enough to do a trip. So I just sort of decided, stuff it, I've got to do it. If I've got to do something now that's going to make all the hard work I've done worthwhile. So that's sort of how it came about. Looked at the map and saw Antarctica just to the south of us, and thought, wonder how I can get there, you know.
I wasn't really surprised because Ben had always had an interest in sailing to somewhere like Antarctica. So once he started to seriously prepare for it, we just got stuck in behind him and gave him a hand.
With Ben's plans now set, his first job was to get a reliable crew together to not only help sail Snow Petrel, but to finish the work needed to prepare her for the potentially brutal voyage south.
None of my mates wanted to do it, they thought it was too mad, so...
And I heard that Ben was doing this trip and he needed crew, and then a couple of days later he gave me a call and I was like, sweet, I'm in. Sounds like fun, so it was a good chance to get away from everything and try something new and exciting.
Because then John decided he wanted to go.
Spent a lot of time in the Southern Ocean, but to get the chance to go down to the ice was something that I'd never thought would be possible.
Then Dad came out, he rode out one morning, he's like, I want to go too, can I go?
I knew Ben needed a lot of help, so it was a case of putting myself up to give him a bit more of a hand and maybe hitch a ride down with him. So,
and I checked with Mum to make sure that was okay.
I thought, well, the three of them, I thought they'd just be a really great team.
Sailing has always been a huge part of our lives. Our parents' yacht New Zealand Maid has always been there as part of the family, and in 1990 all 7 of us moved on board to live. Since then we've sailed throughout New Zealand, Australia and the South Pacific, and sailing continues to be a big part of our work and lives.
You know how you get on with your dad sometimes. Sometimes it's cool, but other times they really piss you off. So anyway, I decided I could probably handle him for a month and a half or so.
I was more than happy the fact that there wasn't enough room on the boat for me, so I had a good excuse to sort of, not be convinced that it might be fun.
A good thing about going with your old man and your little brother is that they know you pretty well, so you don't have to kind of try to be nice. If you're grumpy, you can be a bit more grumpy, a bit more natural. You don't have to make allowances, because they're only your family, it's not like when you've got mates and stuff,
We're all used to being cooped up in a small space together from all our previous sailing.
And we all trusted each other's abilities more than, say, if you just had someone that you'd pulled off the street.
The day that I arrived off the plane, we were working solidly on the boat.
he didn't really tell us quite how many things he had in mind, and we kept on doing them, and there were more things coming and more things coming through.
He'd give us another list of things to do and we'd finish them, and then another list and then another list, and it was just never ending.
Yeah, a huge amount of work we had to get through, insulate the boat and build some extra bunks and just get it all set up.
He'd had a fire on board because he'd been welding and a spark had dropped into some newspaper, and so it's just yeah, very exciting.
If we had a problem, I didn't want to get people to say, well, you weren't properly prepared, so made sure we had every bit of safety equipment and that nobody could criticise us on our preparation. Yeah, that was number one sort of challenge. Will we see you when we come back?
Most likely. Alright, have a safe trip, guys. Yeah.
Cheers.
Come on, we can get all the contraband on now.
Got all that home brew, is it?
It was about the 4th of January, so we finally slipped our lines and were away.
I'm not scared, I don't know which way our journey will end, and I'm not scared.
We're this way, Mum, not that way.
And we've got oceans of time, oceans of dreaming, oceans of time,
It's one of the most feared stretches of water in the world. You know, they talk about the roaring 40s, which are bad enough, in the furious 50s, where you can get huge gales and it's very hard to get any help. And then down to the 60s, which are referred to as the screaming 60s.
You're sort of heading into a big unknown, you know, on most of your maps and charts. There's not much there, you know, maybe a tiny bit of land, and, you know, it's not even properly charted. You almost feel like you're going to fall off the edge of the world. It's quite exciting. Those first 4 days, it was just forward of the beam. It was just bouncy and wet and uncomfortable. It was quite funny. Dad and Matt, they're both used to slightly bigger boats. They both got a bit seasick, and
Yeah, they kind of sucked a bit, but
I wasn't feeling crash hot, but I could say, oh, I'm all right, you know.
Good view from there. This is the spot to be.
At sea, a watch needs to be maintained 24/7. With only 3 crew, this meant getting up every 4 hours to spend 2 hours outside getting cold and wet, plus the odd sail change or job requiring 2 or more people on deck. But we soon settled into this routine, and slowly but surely Snow Petrel began clocking up the miles.
We're in the furious 50s now. So actually it was quite a quiet night last night. Motored for 4 hours, the first time we've had to do any motoring. But the barometer's dropping pretty fast. It's gone down 4 millibars in the last 2 hours. So it's looking like we're in for quite a blow. Thinking maybe 40, 45 knots tonight. So the last 3 hours we spent trying to get everything dogged down on deck. Been sealing things up, put extra lines on, get things ship shape below, get the food organised, and yeah, we're just not quite sure what to expect. But there's a low coming through pretty well on top of us, so I just want to expect the worst. Anyway, it's lovely going at the moment. We're running at about 6 knots, so with goose wing sails, so just make the most of it today.
Up a feed for the next few days in case we get some bad weather and can't do any cooking. So I'm just going to cook up a big pot of casserole that we can dip into as we go if we get hungry. The boat's pretty calm at the moment, so it's alright. Wind's really starting to pick up now, probably got 40 odd knots, so I'm going to chuck another reef in main or drop it all together.
Gotta get this drogue line sorted. Should have done it before we left, but we might need to use it now, so I better do it now. It's our sea anchor we tie it behind us to slow us down. With the weather system that's coming, we might need to run with it for a day or so. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully not. Kind of like sticking the brakes out. You can throw this clear of the boat, make sure this is made up fast, and then just ease it out.
Next thing, all hell broke loose. That was a bit mean. The dinner was just all ready to eat, and I was lying in my bunk, and we took a knockdown.
A big wave come through and it picked the boat up and threw it on its side.
You could feel the boat just picked up and just slammed sideways.
So my dinner is now kind of all there. That's all we've got left.
Just climbing down the hatch when the wave hit.
And I looked up and Ben was in the hatch. And it was just like he was trying to stem the flow of a dam.
It comes down, bounces off the table, straight onto Dad. So everything is drenched.
Both my sleeping bags.
Both Dad's sleeping bags. Somehow I managed to go to windward and get my sleeping bag. And Ben's bunk is completely drenched as well.
I'm going to start doing some filter pumping, excuse me.
So now it's the clean up. And I've got to restart dinner.
Yeah, we've got all sail offer and drove out. Got it under control. So hopefully we won't lose too much ground tonight.
And I have to admit that all I could think of is that I'm just so glad that I'm not there, that I'm here, and I just had a glass of wine, hopped in my nice warm bed. And
Woken up this morning, blue skies, and I'm just pulling in the drogue and get underway again.
Yeah, so that's the little fella that we've just been through. It was most unpleasant, and this is what's coming. It's about 3 times the size. At least on the bright side, we've got some nice calm weather in here. We can dry everything out.
Halfway party. 14-22 miles, 7:11 to go. Oh, what a cake. So look at it, Matt.
Cape Denison.
Cape Denison.
Cape Denison, okay. I've come down a bit.
The oven was on a bit of a slant, so we had a bit of a hill on this side. And nothing on this side, so we thought it looks more like a landscape than
Can I see the penguins?
Than a actual.
Can I see the penguins? A bit closer. Oh yeah, okay.
Now, kind of nice. Who wants penguin knob?
Yeah, penguin knob for me.
It's more like a biscuit in some places.
My bag's a fat end, not the skinny end. No, I'll have the skinny end.
Yeah, you said you wanted you wanted penguin knob,
penguin
so
knob
that's what
for
you
me.
get. Sorry.
It's the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. We were streaming a drogue for a fair bit of this time and running off, so it was a short run on the 10th. 11th, 12th, 13th we're at now, which is closing the 60th parallel. We've gone through the 2/3 mark, and once we're inside this line here, we're inside the Antarctic treaty waters for the remainder of the way. We expect to sight icebergs from about here on.
Good to see Ben keeping a good lookout. Ensuring our safety and ensuring we don't collide with any icebergs. Oh, now he looks.
Read a page, look out. Read a page, look out. Simple.
What happens when you get to a good bit and you can't stop?
make sure you got a crafty book.
Oh well, we made it to Antarctic waters.
I've never seen a bloody iceberg.
Oh well, we'll be saying, you know, in 2 or 3 days time, got the bloody icebergs.
Yeah.
We shall go away, you know.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can be in the
Yeah, roger that. We're at 6125, 6125 south, 143 degrees 20 minutes east, 143.20 east. Our course 175 degrees true at 5 knots.
Be expecting to see some ice fairly soon, probably in the next day or so, and reaching the pack ice in a couple of days. So, all very exciting.
Thanks to Ben and Mike's extensive knowledge of ocean weather systems, we managed to dodge the worst of the low pressure systems and made good progress. Though it was really starting to feel like ice couldn't be too far away.
You couldn't go outside without having 4 layers on. Your fingers and your feet especially really freeze up. And it's bloody cold. Our first iceberg.
Yay!
Deftly spotted by Dad, minutes after taking over for me on watch. Bastard.
Yeah. I gotta watch out.
It's mission number 3 of the trip achieved.
Took its time though, didn't it?
Yeah, it's frustrating.
200 miles off.
63.20 was it?
Yep, exactly 200
Really?
miles.
63.20?
miles from the Antarctic.
It's only 20 miles from my guess.
Yeah. Rub it in, rub it in.
Wow. For the spotter of the first iceberg, the prize is a watch off. So I've got my hottie.
10 hours of glorious frolicking in bed.
I've got my rum. And I'm going to enjoy just a wee nip. Not much, just enough to be sober for the next watch, which will be sometime this afternoon. Thanks, Nick. Top of Mount Gay. One of the best. Oh well, cheers. Here's to our first icebergs, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Iceberg day and we're celebrating with pancakes.
I've eaten all mine.
Bucklets, actually.
They're bloody nice. Good work, mate.
Yeah, thanks for mine.
Hey. I like iceberg day. Get it more often,